Hello and welcome back everybody, I am Fruit Punch TCG and today we're going to be picking up where we left off in our last video with some gameplay featuring the blue-purple Reiju. Now this is going to be OP10, I think this deck is going to perform pretty well in that meta. I did decide to make one slight change to the deck list, that being that I am now running 3 of the Tony Chopper blocker. I decided to bring my Black Maria from 4 to 3 and add an extra copy of this blocker because of a previous comment on my other video, and I do agree with that comment that there's just not enough defense in this deck in the form of blockers. So this will help the Porsche consistency as well, because now we do have 6 targets outside of herself that we can grab, so it will help. And I think that running 10 2Ks in this deck is just fine, just because we do like to pitch the 1Ks more often than not, just to have them in our trash, and the card draw with leader is pretty good. So let's go ahead and move right into some gameplay, guys, and I will see you there right now. Reiju into Shanks. I do remember this matchup being pretty close. I do have a red rock, which is pretty great, but not really anything in the form of searching, so we will mulligan this, so we do find ourselves a stage, which is pretty great to start things off with. We'll go ahead and pitch the Ichiji here, and all we can grab is another stage, so we'll just have another target for next turn. Unfortunately, we do see the Porsche, and we do see the Chopper go to the bottom of our deck. Here I'll probably want to find a smaller Niji. So we'll go ahead and pitch the other stage here. We actually do find the Ichijis, all of them, right? And for 1 Dom, we'll go ahead and search again. We'll grab that Niji here now. And then we'll just do 2 on our leader and swipe 7 at him. Probably just get a life for that. So now next turn, depending on the board state, can do the Niji or the Ichiji. So we'll have those options. We can't get rid of Building Snake. And we'll see what he decides to do. This could be a Lucky Roo and then 5 at lead. Yeah, so 5 at lead, it's probably going to be the Lucky Roo, which is a bit tricky for us with the Niji. So maybe we do the Ichiji, but I think if we do the Ichiji, it is susceptible. Okay, so no Roo, that's pretty good. We'll give him a 2K here. And for 3 Dawn, he does want to play out the Hongo. So he is getting ready for me when I do play out a body, so that's pretty good. Go ahead and trash that, grab another small guy. Play out the small guy, that way we can get rid of the Building Snake. I mean, either or, but I do want to get rid of that 3K instead of 2. We do draw a card with that as well. I'll go ahead and play out another Sanji to grab a Reiju. And then we'll just go ahead and do 6 at face. So pretty lucky that we didn't see a Roo come down last turn. He does minus us down. He's probably just going to give us a 1K for that. And we do see the Rayleigh get out of hand. We do need to be careful because after this turn, he is going to have some pretty big guys online. He is going to swipe 5 at us. I'm just going to give him the Reiju here because we do have the card draw available the turn after. And then he's going to play out the blocker here and use stage for fun. What to do? I think we could just send... I don't think we want to send either of these 2Ks back to his hand. I don't really mind the Hongo too much. It's going to be annoying, but it is what it is. I could just do the Ichiji and the Reiju this turn. So let's do that. Let's go 5 at lead. And then we'll go 6 at lead. And then we'll play out our guys. If he does decide to block with the the Chopper here, I'll probably just swipe into it with the Ichiji. So let's see what he decides to do. He does give us a 2K, so he is waiting for it. So we'll go ahead and play out the Reiju, get our card draw in. We do draw a red rock, which is pretty great. So if he does play something a little scarier, we can actually get rid of it next turn. Now we just go ahead and do the Ichiji. And we do have one in trash, which is good, so we can still use our stage to pitch the other one in hand and grab another one. And then we'll just go ahead and do 7 at face, and he'll probably just block with the Chopper here. But nope, he does take that, so pretty good. And we'll go ahead and pass. Next turn, we will have Red Rock online. And we'll also have Ichiji. So depending on what he plays out, we'll see what we can do here. 5 cards in hand. Pretty good. We've done a pretty good job so far of staving off anything too bad. And we've kept ourselves relatively healthy from those 5k swings early on. Because I do want to protect myself from stuff like Dragon and Shanks when he plays that later. So we'll see which one of those is going to come out this turn. It could actually be the Newgate with Hongo. But we're going to find out. We do have options because, you know, Porsche into Ichiji with 3 Dawn, we would have another 3 open. But if the body is something I'm scared of, it could just be Red Rock and then some basic swings to face. I could just save Red Rock for when he plays Shanks, which might be a little bit more impactful. Because we will go back to 6 Dawn again if we do minus from 2. Okay, so he plays Beckman. I'm not going to Red Rock Beckman. For 5, again, I just don't want to give him these 5s for free. I'm just going to give him the Niji here. And he passes with 1 up. So we'll go ahead and play out Porsche into Ichiji this turn. And we do see our Soul Judge go to the bottom of our deck, but I don't think we'll have the time for that anyway. And then we'll go ahead and cheat out the Ichiji again. Dawn -1 into the larger guy. And with this 3 Dawn, we could go 6, 6, 7, 7. Let's go ahead and get rid of this for some more options. We grab another one. That's pretty great. So yeah, we'll just go 6, 6, 7, 7. This could be a Rad Beam. Not quite sure. Probably a Rad Beam, right? And then we do have 6 and a 7, 7 coming his way. So he does take the first 6. Go ahead and do another 6. And then we've got 7, 7. So we'll probably get him down to 1 this turn. He does minus a Reiju, probably just give us a 2k. So it will be 6, 7. Which I'm sure one of these will be blocked by the Chopper. He actually gives us a Bad Manners and ditches an Uta, so he's starting to lose some counter in hand. Go ahead and put 2 on our Reiju, do 6 at face. I'm not quite sure if he even has the Rad Beam. He could have just left 1 open to hopefully draw it off life or to trick us into thinking he does. But with the amount of Dawn we have, we're not able to really go high anyway. So we can't really go over the Rad Beam unless we used it all on the Ichiji, which would just probably not be as preferable. So I think the 6, 7 here is fine. He does take the 6, and if he did take the 6, he'll probably just give us Chopper for 7. Nope, Divine Departure. Okay. So go ahead and pass. He has at 1 life, 4 cards in hand, 10 Dawn, though. We'll probably see maybe that Shanks come out. And if that's the case, we're just going to Red Rock it next turn. And then just pelt him again with the bodies that we're able to keep up this turn. I do have 3 2Ks, so pretty great. He's going to go ahead and use stage on our Ichiji here. We can replay him if we don't Red Rock. Okay, so Beckman, not Beckman, I'm sorry, Rayleigh. No 10 drop. He is going to go ahead and KO one of our guys and then swipe into the other ones. So he does KO the Ichiji. This guy is now 4. Interesting that he doesn't use the Hongo to make our bodies even smaller. Maybe he'll do it this turn on Reiju. So he does do 7 into 4. We'll let that go. Here he's going to want to use the Hongo and then swipe into it with the Shanks. But I'm actually not going to let that one go. We'll give him double 2k for that. Just so we can keep the body up, because this turn he didn't play a blocker, and he does only have 1 Dawn active, so we actually might be able to swipe in for lethal, and I don't think we're too worried about the clapback just because we still have 4 life. So what can we do here with 6 Dawn? We can do 7, 7, 7. Let's start with that. We'll do 7 from Reiju. Oh, you know what? He does have the blocker. I don't pay attention. So we'll do 7 from Reiju, 5, 5. And then we can just play out the Ichiji for another 7. So probably should have been 5, 5, 7, 7. He does have the other departure. He'll go ahead and use that. And he does minus down our Reiju here. So it looks like it's just going to be 5-7. So maybe, I mean, we're going to lose our bodies anyway. Because he is going to have all these guys, even if I do swing into the Hongo. So for 5, he's going to give us a 2K. And you know what? Because of that, maybe he's just going to block anyway. So we could just throw this aggression towards the Beckman. Let's go ahead and do 7 at Beckman. He'll probably block with Chopper. Yep, he blocks and lets the Chopper go. I don't think I'm going to need Chopper next turn, just because things are looking a little aggressive for us. We're actually going to be able to draw another Ichiji, which is great. We already have one in trash. I don't really think it mattered too much. So basically all we did was lose a 1K for that. But again, 10 Dawn. Yeah, he's going to finally play out the Shanks now, so we can swing into our board. I just don't know, you know, with one card in hand and no active Dawn, I'm basically going to give him all of these cards, right? I don't really care. If he wants to put every swing into board, that's fine. I'm going to let them all go. Because he can guarantee all of them with these 3 bodies here. Yep, you can have them. You can have them. Then Rayleigh will just take. Not Rayleigh, the Shanks. So, yeah. I do have Ichiji here. 2, 3, 4 for Ichiji. He'll be a 6K. We can make him 7, and we can make Reiju 7. I think that's fine. Go ahead and do 7 from Ray. So even if he minuses us down, that'll have to be at 2K. I probably just could have done 6, and that would have been fine. Next, we'll go ahead and play out Ichiji. Dawn -1. Play the bigger guy. And then we'll just put another one here on the Ichiji and go 7. He'll have to lead our ability 2K this. But depending on what his hand looks like, yep, he's going to go ahead and use leader ability. And he does have the 2K, so we'll go ahead and trash another Ichiji. And we'll grab nothing, but we'll pass it over to him. We still have 3 life. He's probably going to want to go for a game here or block her up. If he does block her up, I could red rock the 1 blocker if it is just 1, and then just go in for 7. And that would mean that the last card would have to be a 2K. So he's probably going to go, yeah, for lethal here. So 9, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll make another 9. So 9, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4 for 9. 1, 2 to make Beckman a 9. And then 3 active. So we could go 10. We'll let this go through. We do draw a brick, quite sad. We have 2K, 2K, 1K, 1K. So we do have the 6K encounter. That tells me he didn't draw a blocker and he didn't draw. So we need to be careful of what we get out of here. But I mean, if he doesn't play the blocker, then we're just going to go everything at face. I don't think at any point in time he's going to pivot into the Ichiji. He should be afraid because I do have 6 cards in hand. Okay, so he's going to go 10, 11, 12, which is fine. We do get another 1K. So what's he going to do? He's going to do maybe, what? He can go, yeah, I think 11, 12 would probably be the best part for him, so we can get out of the 11. And if we get out of the 11, he's going to have to throw the Shanks at our Ichiji, and then we'll just stack everything on leader and go at face. I think he is thinking about this. Okay, he's going to go 10, 13. So we'll just get out of 10 here. And then the 13 can go anywhere. I don't really think it matters. Could just leave 1 up for Rad Beam, but I am just going to put 8 on leader. Yeah, he's just going to go Shanks into our Ichiji here. Leave the 1 Dawn open for maybe another Divine Departure, but see if we can just find the other guy. But I don't really think it even matters, really, right? Because even if we did play the other guy, I think this is just a better call, just putting 8 on leader here and going at face. So 13 at face. Divine Departure would what? Bring him to 9? Rad Bean could bring him to 9? Yep, that's all he had. So GG's. Very tricky game. No blockers there at the end. Did have a Beckman. We were able to get rid of those 5K swings early on, which I think is really important just because these big guys are going to be coming out later, and I think you need to have your life total at a pretty decent amount. Our last card would have been a 2K as well, so we probably would have been fine either way, but GG's. We'll go ahead and move into the other one. All right, looks like we do have a game up against the Doflamingo here. I'm going to go ahead and take second, and this hand does have the Reiju. I think I'll just go ahead and keep this, just get some better draw for Yep, we do have stage, so that's also good. I think I'm going to go ahead and start with the Reiju here. Go ahead and Dawn minus and play out the larger one just to fill up our hand a bit. And we'll go ahead and pass. Next turn, we can play out the stage, and we can swing with both of these bodies. Here, he could do a blind leader ability. I think that's what he's going to do, and fortunately it was Jozu. For the 7, we'll just let that go through. And we'll go ahead and play out the stage here now so we can start fixing up our hand a bit. Go ahead and trash that. We'll grab ourselves the Sanji. I think we'll also probably use the Sanji as well. Grab another Ichiji. And then we'll just do 5, 6 and just save ourselves from the Dawn recursion here. Now we do have some options now that we do have both of the Ichijis online. He does decide to take the 5. Let's see if he takes the 6. I don't think he will. And next turn we're going to move into 5. He'll give us a 2K for that. Next turn we are going to move into 5. We do have the Ichiji online, which is good. We do have a Red Rock as well. He is going to play out the Jinbei, and the Jinbei is most likely going to cheat out a Weevil. It would actually be pretty good if he were to cheat out the not the New Gate, the Blackbeard here, but it's actually just going to be a Boa. And the Boa is going to give Arrested Dawn to leader, so he is just going to go 7 into most likely the Reiju. And we'll just go ahead and counter out of that with a 2K, 1K. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and use our stage again here. We'll get rid of the Ichiji. We'll grab ourselves the... Who do I want? I think grabbing probably the Reiju. Well, we're going to lose the Reiju. He's going to swipe into it next turn because we are going to attack with it now. So I think we'll just grab the Niji here. For now, we could just go ahead and do the Ichiji just to get that on board. We'll minus down the Boa so he can't use a free block. And we can go 5, 6, 7. And again, he won't be able to free block out of any of this, so we'll probably get a life or 2 this turn. He does take the first hit for 5. Let's see if he wants to take a 6. He does take the 6. Thinking if he wants to trigger something out here, he might Red Rock our Reiju. Okay, no, it's just a Perfume Fumer to draw a card. Go ahead and do the 7 here as well. Either he takes this hit as well, or he gives us the Boa, or he gives us, he gives us 2 cards? Yeah, he'll give us 2 cards for that, so. He is thinking what to do here. Now, looking back to our hand, we do have a couple 2Ks, and Red Rock will be available to us next turn. But the Doflamingo doesn't really play anything too big outside of Jozu. He does take the 7. Okay, so he prioritized leaving the Boa up. Here we could see Gravity Blade, but it really wouldn't touch the Ichiji, so we're probably not going to see something like that. Another Jinbei would be pretty good for him, just so he can start getting a little bit wider. And he is going to swipe into our board, I can imagine, because now he is only at the 1 life. Again, we do have a couple 2Ks in hand as well. He's going to go ahead and start with the Sengoku, see if he can find an answer. I think getting a teach out early was very important for him, and we're very fortunate that he didn't. So let's see what he decides to grab with Sengoku. It's going to be that teach, so it looks like he didn't have one. He'll probably play it out now this turn, just so his leader ability can start being free. And if he does KO the Reiju this turn, next turn we could do something like the Niji to KO the Teach into a Reiju to draw more cards. So he's going to go ahead and play the Bounce Law. which is going to send back the Sengoku and send the Reiju to our hand. And for 2, he could play out the Teach, which would be good for him. But he won't be able to do leader ability this turn. So maybe he's going to swipe into face with the Jinbei. Okay, another Sengoku. See what he decides to grab. So for 3, I could probably just send Boa back to his hand and then swipe at him with both of these bodies. But I don't know. I don't think we need to worry about trying to go for game because he does have a pretty big hand size. He's also going to draw a 2K buggy here, which I can't imagine he'd want to play out. Yeah, he's just going to do 6. So 6 at face. We're going to go ahead and just give him a 2K for that. And we'll just give him the Reiju that he sent back to our hand anyway. And another 6, we'll give him Black Maria. Alright, so we'll go ahead and start things off by getting rid of the Niji. Draw into another 2K, pretty great. This is very interesting. We are able to get, he doesn't have a blocker this turn. So we could go heavy to face, but I know he has a pretty good amount of counter. We do have another Ichiji. So we could do Ichiji and the Reiju. I think that's pretty good. So we'll go ahead and do 5 at the Jinbei. Probably just give us a 1K for that. I am going to minus the Boa down by 2 with this Ichiji here. Alright, so we'll go ahead and play out the Ichiji. And we'll use it on the Boa, make it a 4K. Now we do have Judge. We won't be able to play that next turn because we are just going to go back to 6. So we can start probably trying to pitch that. Unless we do stay up for another turn, which I don't think we will. We draw another Red Rock. Now we can just go 7 into the Boa, 7 into 4. 2Ks to save that. He doesn't. We'll do 7 into Jinbei. He'll probably save this one. He does have 8 cards in hand. Okay, so he does give us the buggy, and he'll probably give us another 1K for this. We do have to start trimming that hand at some point, so this is good to see. We are very short on 2Ks. We do have 3 bricks, which is quite unfortunate. We'll see what else he wants to give up here. He does give up another 2K in the form of Crocodile, which sort of tells me he wants to get the Teach out, or else he would have given us that as well. But 2 7Ks on board is pretty good. We can protect them if he decides to go into them, unless he Red Rocks 1. He's going to do a 5 to face, just give him a 1K for that. Another 5 into face. We're actually just going to give him another 1K. For the 9 Dawn, we're not going to see a Kaido. Okay, he's going to do the Jozu and then the Teach to get leader ability off. But to keep in mind, he is just going to put something here. It could be the Weevil to draw another card. That'd be pretty good. It's going to be a Jinbei. So he is able to get a pretty wide board again. And this is going to be 8, so we're going to have to take this. Right, we'll take the 8. We do have the Porsche. We are going to go ahead and start getting rid of these Red Rocks. So we'll get rid of 1 here to draw into another Ichiji. Pretty great. I don't think we have another one in trash. So that's something to consider. He does have a blocker in the way. Let's think. I don't think I'm able to get lethal in this turn. So because of that, I do need to clean up his board. And in order to clean up his board, I would want to probably Red Rock this Jozu and then do 5, 7, 7 into these rested bodies. So we'll go ahead and do that. Red Rock the Jozu, bottom deck that. Go 5 into the Law. He'll free block that. We'll do 7 into the Law. He'll probably be able to save one of these. He is thinking about it. Next turn, we are going to go to 8. I don't know if Judge will be available just because... Okay, so he does save one of them. He's not going to be able to save both. So we're going to go ahead and swipe into it again. I don't want him to have another 2k in hand to save the boa. Next turn, I think Judge might be a little too slow. Maybe pitching that Red Rock instead of Judge was a mistake because he could play a Kaido out this turn. But I think with 8 Dawn, that's okay. So he does play Mihawk, and he bottom decks one of our Ichiji. So pretty great. He's also going to be able to get out the Teach ability this turn, just because he did put something in hand on top of his deck. 7 at the Ichiji. We can save that, and we will. Then he'll go 5 at face here. We're also going to go ahead and save ourselves from that. Give him a 2k. And he's also going to swipe with the boa, which I'm not sure is the right move, because we're just going to counter into that too. And now he doesn't have a blocker, and I drew my Ichiji. So I think that was a little risky on his part. We'll go ahead and play out the smaller Ichiji. I actually should have played out the Porsche here instead, just so I could spend 3 Dawn for it. But I'm actually considering just doing... Yeah, I think that was the right move. I did lose a Dawn for that play. I'm not sure it matters all too much, because now we have 7-7-7 or 7-7-9. And I think that's just the game. So we'll go ahead and do 7 into face. Yeah, he should have left the boa standing. I don't know why he swung with it. It would have been a little bit more difficult for us to deal with this board next turn. So that was actually a really crucial mistake on his part. So now we don't even have to really do too much here. We can just go 5, and then we'll just go 7 again. And that is the game. So GG's to our opponent. I think attacking with boa was just not the way to go here. I think he should have just left her standing and then forced me to have a way around it. But all the same, GG's. He is just going to sit here and think about this, but there's no card in the world that can save him from that. So we do take the win, GG's, and we'll go ahead and move into another game. All right, Reiju into Usopp. He does decide to go first. We do get second here. I do like seeing the Sanji, and we already do have the guaranteed Reiju. I think I'm actually just going to go ahead and play out that Reiju turn 1, just so I can get that card draw in and see if we can grab something impactful like Stage or some more options. He did actually grab the Barto and Frankie, so double blocker, Trash and Leo. We do find Stage, great, so we can actually just play out the Reiju now and not have to worry too much about what we're able to grab off the draw. And we do get ourselves another Porsche and another Reiju. We are going to need a Black Maria here soon as well. He's going to start with a 5. We'll give him the other Reiju. And he's going to go ahead and play out the Barto blocker. I am just going to do some more card draw this turn. We'll go ahead and play out Stage, play out Sanji. Sanji is going to find us. I do want to grab a little bit of blue, but I think I always grab the Ichiji here, even though we don't have it. And next, we're just going to go ahead and play out another Sanji. And I'm punished for not grabbing blue. But that's okay. We'll go ahead and grab it this time so that we don't make that same mistake twice. And now we can go ahead and trash that for Stage. So we just looked at 13 cards from our deck, and we're able to load up on the Ichijis here. So pretty good. We'll swing 5. He's probably just going to block with the Barch to draw a card. He does, and we'll pass. So we're going to move into our 5 Dawn turn next turn. We could do Porsche into the Ichiji if we do start seeing the larger guys. And 13 cards is actually pretty great, so we were able to not see it in that search. But we do have 20 more cards we haven't seen, so well, technically 19 after the draw. He is going to swipe 6 into us after playing the Frankie. We'll take this one. We do find another Stage. And we draw into a Chopper. We'll go ahead and let go of Stage with Stage. And we could take the last one, but I think that's just way too many Ichijis. So I think now we'll just take the Niji. It's going to be very difficult getting this card to actually work as intended. I don't want him to mess around. Okay, we'll see. Let's see what we can do here, right? We could do Portion or Chopper, and then play another Chopper. I think that's good. So let's just go ahead and do Porsche. We'll Dawn -1. We'll grab a Chopper. We do have more Choppers. We can play a Chopper here. Gain the rest of Dawn. Draw the card. And we are at the same Dawn here, so I can play another one and just match up so that we can be at even more the turn after. Kind of slowing the game down here a little bit. We'll just go 5-5. The first he'll probably counter out of. The second he might actually just give us the Frankie for, just to play something from trash, like maybe another blocker. Well, I don't really think he... Okay, so he is going to do that. And he's going to play the Barto. I think in that particular point in time, he probably should have just let the Frankie stand. Just because that's a better stat line than the Bart. But, you know. What do I know? We do have 2 choppers here, guys. He is going to play out the Zoro, rest his leader, and probably KO the Reiju. I would have KO'd the Porsche just so, you know, I can't get the Reiju back. He is going to play another blocker. We have some very interesting draw going on here, guys. Let's go ahead and stage this. We'll get rid of one of these Black Marias. And we finally see the man himself. So we can do Porsche into Ichiji this turn. Pretty great. Let's go ahead and start with that. We'll go ahead and do our Porsche, down -1. There's the other 2. Very sad. We'll move those up. And we'll play out the Ichiji over the Sanji. Go ahead and Dawn -1. Bring out the bigger guy. Well, minus the Bart, doesn't really matter. He is going to block this turn anyway. I could start establishing some more bodies. I think I will. Which, if that's the case, I didn't get swung on last turn, so this chopper is just going to lose itself anyway. Do I just Dawn up my bodies instead? So what, 7, 7, 8? He is going to block anyway, right? So maybe just establishing another body would be more important. I think that might be too much for him to handle. So we'll play this out. Dawn -1. We'll play this guy out. We'll KO the Leo. And now we can go 5, 7, 7. He is going to give us a 2K for the 5. Next, we'll do 7. He's going to block, get the card draw. And then the next 7, he might just take for options and keep the Ideo standing. Yep, that's what he does. He does take and pass. So now he's at his 9 Dawn turn. It would be nice to see his Kyros come out. I think that's what he's looking for. He grabs Colosseum and actually doesn't grab Kyros. So now he can play the Rebecca. Okay, he had it anyway. That's why he did that. So now he can attack into our bodies with Colosseum. Very good. And he does play out the Zoro here. So he is going to be able to mess pretty much. Okay, he does get rid of the blocker. Very nice, very nice. I do have a pretty healthy hand. If I 2K, 2K, 1K this, then I can 1K again to save Porsche, but that's just so many cards to save Porsche, and I'm not going to do that. So we'll let Porsche go, and we'll counter out a leader hit. And he doesn't swing with leader. Very interesting. We do draw another Porsche. Am looking for more 7 costs. We'll probably have one on life, to be honest with you, just how these things are going. Let's go ahead and get rid of another chopper here. Grab the Reiju. Play the Porsche. Dawn -1. We grab another 2K. And it's looking like that Ichiji is on our life, so we do have to remember that. And we'll play out the Reiju. We do have a red rock for next turn. For 4 Dawn here, I don't have the other Ichiji. I could play out Black Maria. I don't think it's that important to do that. So because of that, I could actually just play out Chopper. Yeah, I think Chopper's fine. We'll do our swings first. He does have 1 standing blocker. So we'll start with... What do we have? 2 Dawn to mess with, so 6, 7, 7. So we'll start with a 6 into lead. Keeping the Adeo blocker up was probably a good call on his part. He does take the 6. So now we're going to force him to get rid of the blocker. So we'll go 7 at face. He does block. Then we'll go 7 at face again. I don't mind these bodies. I have a pretty healthy hand, and I'm going to put down another blocker. He does go to 0. So we'll go ahead and play out the chopper, ramp 1, and pass. So next turn, we will go to 9. We do have the red rock online. He is going to swipe 9 into our Ichiji. I'm going to let that go because I could just play it out again. We did leave our Reiju the way she was just so we can get card draw off. He's going to do 8 into our Niji here. He's going to want to probably play 7 to bounce something back to hand. I think I'm just going to block with that because I do need to be careful of that. Alternatively, I probably should have used the blocker for the... Okay, so he's going to go 6 at it. So he does want to use this up. So let's go ahead and give him a 2K for the 6. And he disconnects. So GG's to our opponent. I don't really think he could have gotten out of that one. He had 2 blockers here. He probably wanted to play them out. So Frankie. And then next turn, we would have drawn into a Porsche. Could have done Porsche into Ichiji. Or I could have Red Rock one of the blockers. And he only had, what? 2K counter in hand after playing out both of these blockers. So GG's, we'll go ahead and move into another game here, guys. All right, we find ourselves up against Smoker. We are going to take second here. And we do find our stage in Porsche Maria. So I think I will keep this. And we will probably be safe to pitch some cards we find off of top deck. I can imagine whatever it is probably a fine option. Just because I do want to hold on to Judge in this matchup. So we will keep this hand here, and we'll see what he decides to do as well. He actually does keep that too, and passes on turn 1. So we're going to go ahead and play out stage here. We're just going to go ahead and pitch this Niji and grab ourselves a Reiju, and then we will pass. For 3 Dawn, we could see something like the Sanji come out. We could see a Monet drop. There was no Virgo turn 1, which is pretty good for us, so he's not able to craft his perfect hand so far. Or we could just see an 8K swing from leader. Either way, I probably will take that. Yeah, 8K I am just going to take. We do get ourselves another stage, which is just more fodder for pitching, right? So he'll probably just pass here. Not really anything else he can do. This turn, I think I'm just going to go ahead and use our Germa and pitch stage just to see what else we can find. We do find some good prospects. I think I am just going to take this Niji here. I think what we're really keeping in mind is just stuff to do with our Judge later, right? We don't have any other great place besides just doing Porsche here. Porsche finds us another Porsche. And we are going to cheat out, probably Black Maria. I think Black Maria here is fine. And then we can just go 6 at lead and then ramp back up with Maria. I do want this Maria to stick because I am going to start doing Porsche again later. So hopefully he doesn't have a way to get rid of it this early. Because if we can keep in pace with him and our Dawn, we will be able to get Judge out later, right? So I don't think that was worth it at all. I mean, we do get we do keep the 3 to his 5. So next turn we will go to 5. We could do Maria again into either the Chopper, or if we find ourselves the smaller Niji or Reiju, or bigger Reiju or smaller Ichiji, then we'll play that out. He does play the Smoker here. He is going to ramp back up 3 Dawn, 1 from the Smoker and 1 from leader ability. Doing a Raw 5 here sort of tells me that he's going to play out the Sanji. And he probably will, with this Smoker on board, I'll probably want to get this Chopper out just to have a blocker. But no, he's going to play out Tashigi here and pass. So we'll go ahead and get rid of the Ichiji. And we find ourselves probably just another Reiju. Because we do have the Sanji in hand. I think these Reijus should be fine. For 3 Dawn, I'm going to play out the Porsche here. We'll do the Dawn minus. We will grab another Porsche, which is pretty good. And we are going to cheat out the... It doesn't really matter. We'll cheat out the Chopper here. And we do draw into a Red Rock, which is pretty good. I don't really think it matters if I do 7 or 6/6 from lead, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and play out the Sanji here just to find some more pieces. We do find the Ichiji, which was desperately needed, and then for that 1 Dawn, we'll just put it on one of our bodies here. So we'll go 5, and then we'll go 6. Now, I am happy to have this blocker out here just so we don't have to worry too heavily about the Smoker. He does take the 5. Before I do another swing, I'm actually probably just going to get our 5 Dawn from Maria here just in case he pops it with a trigger of some sort. Probably should have done that to begin with, but he does counter out of that with the baby 5. And we will ramp back down. We'll go to 7 just like him next turn. And we are 1 step closer to our Judge. He does play out the Chopper. And he does gain back his Dawn here with the Smoker. So the Chopper was a 1 Dawn play, which is pretty great. He's going to go 10 into us. We're just going to block with the Chopper here just because I don't want that banish. And then next he's going to go 6 from lead. I'll give him a 2K. And with the 2 last on, he's going to go ahead and play out Baby 5 and probably search for Rosinante. I'm not quite sure if he does play Doflamingo, but that answers my question right there, right? So something to keep in mind. We'll go ahead and start with our stage here. We will pitch the Reiju that we finally drew and grab ourselves. Do we have them? Yep, we do have them already. That's pretty great. Grab ourselves another Reiju just so we have that card draw online. Now, I am thinking about what to do here. I don't want to use the Red Rock because I do want to save that for Doflamingo or Kid. And next turn is going to be Judge, so we do have to keep that in mind. It's probably going to be a Porsche turn this turn. We'll probably cheat out the, let's see, the Ichiji here. So let's go ahead and do that just so we can bring down this Smoker. We will do Porsche. We bottom tech all sorts of goodies. And we will cheat out the Ichiji over the Sanji. We do draw another one. We'll cheat out the Ichiji and we'll -2 here. Now, what I probably should have done first is use the Sanji to swipe into the Baby 5 because now I actually have to use leader ability for that, or leader for that. So that is a misplay on my part. But instead, I am actually just going to use the Black Maria just because, you know, she did get her value and we will be matching them up for 9. So they do let go of the Baby 5. Let's go ahead and get all our Dawn here just so we don't mess with any triggers. This is a 6K base. I don't have another Ichiji to play. I do probably want to play out another Reiju this turn. I think I'll probably play that over the Black Maria just to get some card draw. Let's start by doing that. We'll play that out over Maria. We'll go ahead and minus our 1 Dawn here, and we'll play out the 1 from trash. We are at the same amount of Dawn from them, but we do establish that 5K, which is fine. So we have 6, 6, and 7 we could throw at this. And with this low amount of cards in hand, he is going to block one of these. So let's just see what he decides to do. We'll do 6 here. Probably start off with a 1K. This is going to be getting rid of a lot of cards in hand. We know one of them is a brick with Doflamingo. Okay, so he immediately blocks that one. So the next we'll just go 6 at it again with Porsche. He lets it go, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and do 7 at Chopper. Try to do like a hand starve method here, and he lets that go as well, so pretty great. We'll go ahead and end our turn, minus our Dawn back, and the next turn will be at 9, so we can play out the Judge, so that's pretty good. He does play Hody. He's going to rest a couple of our bodies here. He probably should do both Porsches. Hody is a good play here. He is going to be able to ramp 2 back, or I'm sorry, restand 2 with leader ability. 8 into 5, we'll let that go. He is going to play out the Baby 5 here. He draws another Baby 5 with the Baby 5, which I'm not sure if he's going to want to play. We are going to go ahead and counter out of that one. Now, this is interesting because he does have that 2-cost event. We do have Judge available to us. I don't know if we set up Judge here. We do have to worry about Doflamingo next turn. I think with the Judge, we will replace this Ichiji, so we do have a free swing with it, because we're going to replace it and play it out again. I'm just trying to think about what the right sequencing is here. Do we Red Rock Hody instead, and then Judge the turn after? I think we do. I think we do that. We do Red Rock Hody. Oh, that's right. We're actually Red Rocking Tashigi here. Not even, it just rested. So that was a big misplay on my part. We do have to get rid of this anyway. So that actually sort of tells me that the Red Rock wouldn't have worked last turn anyway, just because of the, or the next turn anyway, just because that Tashigi's there. He does let go of the Baby 5 as well. I suppose now we do have a bunch of leader swings we could do. Probably just do out the Reiju this turn. Draw some more cards to get ready for that Dofi. Let's see. Because we are going to get Dofied next turn. So everything we turn sideways is going to get Dofied. But I think we do have a good board presence to where I don't think it matters too much. So we'll go ahead and play out the Reiju. Draw some more cards here. We do draw another red rock, so that's going to be pretty good for us. I'm going to go ahead and pitch this Porsche here and grab ourselves another Ichiji. This way I can do 8 into Hody. We'll probably get the baby 5 for that. Okay, no, he is going to just do this 2-cost event just to really stop our other swings. That's fine. Next, we'll just go 5 into face. He'll either give us the baby 5 or take for some added options. And then next turn we'll be at 10. We do have a lot of options to us at that point, because now we can red rock the Doflamingo and then just kind of stall out a little bit longer. Alternatively, I could play out Judge. He is just going to do 5 at face. I am just going to give him an Ichiji for that. And the 8 will probably just take. Yeah, we'll take the 8. And he leaves another 2 Dawn open for that event again. That's fine. We'll just go ahead and red rock Dofi now. And here we can probably start using our stage, pitch out this Reiju, grab ourselves a Sanji. And do I go 9 into Hody here, or do I just throw all these at face? I think I just throw everything at face. We'll start with a 5 just to see if we can suss out that event. We know he has a baby 5 in here. He is going to do the 2-cost event again and minus down our cards here. I think because of that, I'm just going to go 9 at Hody. I know one of these is a 1K, but I'm not sure what the other ones are. Okay, so he does have a baby 5 there. He is down to only 4 cards, one of them being a baby 5. Maybe another Doflamingo comes out this turn. I'm not quite sure. He is going to go ahead and go 8 into our Porsche. We'll just let that go. And from the fact that he's doing 5 with leader, that tells me that he's going to drop another Doflamingo. But we're not too worried about that because now we can just judge and replace these rested units anyway. Now, he doesn't know it, but that was our last red rock. Do we even just go for game here? I think we could actually safely do something like that. But no, I don't think the stall... I think the stall should be fine as well because we can swipe into the Hody Jones. Let's see here. If we do the judge, we will play out another Ichiji, who will then bring this to 6. That would mean I have 2 Dawn left over. Alternatively, I can rest his Dawn with this judge, just so he's not able to do the event if he has another one. I think that's a good play. We'll play out Judge here. We'll use the card action. We're going to pitch ourselves the Ichiji and with the Chopper. That way we can just start playing these cards over these cards. Perfect. We do draw ourselves another one. Next, we'll just go ahead and suit up here. Minus 2k to Hody. We'll go ahead and suit up here. Just to get the 6k on board, we won't use any ability. Now we can cut our card draw from the Reiju. We can use stage, get rid of the Ichiji here, draw another 2k. And here we're actually going to use Judge ability to rest one of his Dawn. So that way we can comfortably smack into this Hody. So we'll go 8 into the Hody Jones. And he can't use a 2-cost event here, even if he does have one, because we did rest his Dawn with the Judge. Okay, he's going to give us 2k, 1k. And actually, I think that last card in his hand... Oh, that was the 2k baby 5 that he drew earlier. So now we'll just get the last card out of his hand if it is any counter. Which it looks like it is. So now we actually probably just want to pass here, not to give him any more options. And we do have 4 2Ks in our hand as well. So if he does try to go for game, we can get out of that. So 9 into lead. I think we'll just wrap things up by just countering out of it. And outside of that, I don't really think there's much you can do besides playing another Hody if he top decked it. And yeah, that looks like it is going to be game. So it didn't look like he had the event anyway, but just in case, it was nice to play out the Judge and rest that Dawn. So GG's to our opponent. We'll go ahead and wrap things up here. All right, that is going to do it for us here today. Thank you so much for coming in and watching. Do look forward to the next Reiju video where we take a look at the deck with a full Vinsmoke package. And by full, I mean as full as it can be outside of some utility cards for blue and purple. But that is going to be the next video we'll be tackling. If you are interested in that, just go ahead and drop a like and a sub. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day.